I'm worried about Nintendo's new lineup. And this is coming from somebody who was a huge fan of Nintendo. And I would always buy every console, I would always buy every game. Yet Nintendo, and we can all agree to this, has become average. Now, with the video game industry being so garbage that it is, the average is not something to be proud of. Let's talk about the downfall of Nintendo. More specifically, the Wii U era. This was when Nintendo flopped and they saw how much money they lost, and so they had to make dramatic corrections towards their game development practices. So we had games like Donkey Kong Country Returns, Smash Bros. 4, New Mario, and they were good games. Don't get me wrong, I am not crapping on those games. However, they were average. You can tell that they were scrambled to find any sort of success amongst the flop that was the Wii U. And the worst offender of all of these are the garbage Mario Sports that they threw out. Off the top of my head, we had Mario Sports Mix, Mario Wii U, Sonic at the Rio. We had things like Mario Sports Superstars on 3DS, all of them just garbage. And you can see these practices. We should have known something was wrong when all of these games, and even though we had some good ones like Donkey Kong Country 4, like Smash Bros. 4, like the new Super Mario series, even though they were good, we can tell that they were done so haphazardly because they were all interchangeable with the 3DS. Something should have warned us as consumers that this was a lazy attempt towards make money when they were all interchangeable between Wii U, a home console, and a 3DS title. They showed that they had minimal effort just to maximize their profit. They showed that a great developer became mediocre slop just like everyone else, and now it's damaged its reputation. And before you can come at me in the comments below, I read them, before you can say, what about games like Breath of the Wild? What about games like Mario Odyssey? What about games like Link to the Past? Stop right there. Are those games the rules? Are they the norm for Nintendo? Or are they the outliers? Are they the exceptions? Because once again, Nintendo is just like everyone else now. They create garbage, average games, and then every now and then we see their old self come back. That's the exception. That's how they get you. That's why they still have fanboys. So yes, games like Breath of the Wild, they're great. They're masterpieces. Mario Wonder, nobody can argue against that. However, everybody can kind of see that these games are the exception to the rules. And it's just so sad because we are a race that creates nothing but garbage in the media that we consume, and yet Nintendo was the exception. And now look at them. They have Donkey Kong Country Returns, Smash Bros. 4. They have all those garbage Mario Sports titles. When we know for a fact that they can make gold even with the same concept like Mario, with the same concept like Zelda, it still has creative avenues that developers can explore. And now let's talk about Nintendo's lineup. Nintendo Switch 2. Something that I want to get off my chest first and foremost, Mario Kart World. Garbage. It is everything wrong with gaming. It promotes things that don't matter to the gameplay, things that aren't essential like graphics, like frame rate, like a roster. It is an exact copy and paste formula of its old games, which oversaturates the market. And worst of all, it removes content. Remember, Mario Kart, it used to have a story mode. It can still be done, yet why would Nintendo put in that work? Why would they give us that feature if we're paying for garbage like Mario Kart World? They don't need to. The market has spoken, money talks, and people rather have a riding cow than a story mode. And so obviously, or hopefully not, once again, I am worried about Nintendo's lineup, so we gotta talk about its upcoming games. And once again, hear me out. These games, even though they could be good, they are average. And that's what upsets me. That's why I keep making these videos. That's why I want to tell you as a consumer, value the things that you consume. Because let's look at the Nintendo Switch 2 lineup. We have Kirby Air Riders, another game that is a remake, essentially, of a 10-year-old intellectual property that was given to us before. You see what they're doing? They are feeding us slop so that we can get used to mediocrity. Or in the best case scenario, they're feeding the slop so that they can lower the bar of their effort. Once again, look at Mario Tennis. Everything that I just said could apply to Mario Tennis. It could be great. It could be fantastic. It could be a master class, just like the Mario parties of old, just like the Mario Soccers of old. Or it could showcase Nintendo at their laziest. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, look at it. Does this not look like something that is made not out of creativity, but out of ease? You be the judge. I'm just here to tell you guys, expect more from the media that you consume. If this video gets at least one of you guys to analyze that point and then not purchase a crappy product like Mario Tennis, the market becomes better because the developers start producing better games. You see how all this works. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. I have great things coming for this channel. Once I hit 500k subscribers, I'll announce something huge. Stay posted.